Welcome to the Jacksonville Momcast, a podcast dedicated to telling the real stories of local Jacksonville moms. Sponsored by Jacksonville Beach Moms, each month we'll cover topics to help you navigate mom life on the First Coast. Thanks for joining us as we tackle all things motherhood and more with a focus on the 904. Welcome to episode 26 of Jacksonville Momcast. Our guest today is Nicole Boshell. Nicole is the mom behind Natural Desire Soap Company. And before we get started, we want to give a special thanks to George Moore Chevrolet for sponsoring this episode. We'll hear a little bit more about them later on. But for now, let's get started with you, Nicole, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was mostly raised here in Jacksonville, Florida. I have 3 boys, and we own Natural Desire Soap Company, and we are a local family-owned business here in Jacksonville.
So tell us a little bit, you touched on your company. Tell us a little bit more about Natural Desires.
So we make all natural, beneficial, and vitamin-packed spa products. Everything that we make is made with clays, plant oils, essential oils. We do not have any sneaky junk, no synthetic fragrances. We like to say they're 100% junk-free. So we go from anything. We start mostly with soap, but we also have scrubs, we have bath salts, we have lotions, we have lip scrubs, we have shampoo bars and conditioner bars in the store. We have a little bit more in the store than we do online. And then we also offer soap refills because we try to be as eco-friendly as possible. And most of our products are in glass and eco-friendly materials as far as shipping and everything.
Excellent. And so what led you to the soap and skincare industry? Like, I feel like it's a very niche market and very specialized, a lot of science involved. What kind of brought you to this?
So firstly, I never really, when I kind of took on the Instagram and selling online, I never thought, well, I'm entering into the skincare industry. Like, that was never a thought in my brain. I was actually working for a company called Creative Learning Corporation. I was a manager there. We were coming up with a company, we were coming up the class for the St. John County school systems. It was called Spa Lab Studios. So we wanted to teach children how to make natural spa products. Well, during that time, I discovered all of the ingredients that were in all of the products that are on the market that we weren't able to bring into the schools. We weren't able to teach these children because it was all toxic. It was all chemicals. It was all synthetic. And I had been, since I was 18, having skin irritation on my back immediately after I got out of the shower, always, especially during the winter and the fall. It would get extremely itchy, irritated. I had no idea it was what I was washing with. I never put that together until I had to do the studies for the Spa Lab Studios. So we had a mutual ending. I wanted to stay home the summer with my boys. And at that point, I had been already doing the research, making product for my skin. My back had already improved. I had family and friends that were loving the product. I did not want to be an entrepreneur. It was actually my partner that was the entrepreneur at heart. And he said, you have something. He said, you're going to be home with the summer for the summer. Why don't you try to sell it? Like, just put it on Etsy or something. He created me a horrendous website. It was like lime green. And I was terrified to be a business owner. However, I started getting a few orders a week. And my first email from a mom that said our oatmeal milk and honey soap helped her son's eczema so much. She said it almost felt like a treatment, that they would shower earlier in the day. Her son was 4 years old. She said they would shower earlier in the day because the oatmeal milk and honey was so soothing to his skin that he wouldn't itch the rest of the night. And she got many creams from doctors and dermatologists, and she said they would often just kind of be stinky or really expensive and sometimes would not do the job. So once I got that first email saying that I helped him just as much as I had already helped my own skin, and I realized that was a possibility, that was when I dove in. That was when my heart said, okay, I think I really like this. So nothing said in my brain, oh, you're entering the soap industry, you're entering the skincare industry. That's crazy and scary, and there's so much competition. It was just oh, wow, I can help people with what I have. And I think that's what I always wanted to do. At a young age, I wanted to be in the medical field just because I wanted to help people. And that's all I wanted to do. So once I got that back, my heart dove into it. That's when I started chasing this dream. That's when I got on Instagram, started showing my face because I was scared. I was just showing pictures of soap and really just started going for it. And then the same, I started getting testimonies from festivals, events, meeting people. And yeah, that was the start of it right there.
I was going to say, I know you kind of said your website started rough. If people go to your website now, and we'll put the link in the show notes, there are tons of testimonials on there. So it's great to read through and kind of, just like you said, that email from that first mom, there's tons of information on there from people who have actually used your products.
Yes. Yes, I'm very, very privileged. The community that I found on Instagram is amazing, mostly Instagram, but it's everywhere. It's amazing. And they are so generous to always leave reviews. I'm so grateful for all those reviews. I had no idea I could build up so many reviews and people would take the time to let people know, that it's helping them and that they enjoy it. So I'm really grateful for that. When days get rough, because running a company and a mom entrepreneur, it's really hard. And when days get rough, that's what I go back to. I'll go back to those reviews. I'll go back to those emails, and they kind of keep me going when it's a little bit overwhelming. So
that's such a great piece of advice, I think, for anybody to keep a file, like a happy file, where you have all those good, positive, even if it's not a review of your product, good emails from a boss or a colleague or a friend. Just so important. So your nickname is the Messy Soap Maker, and you sign your emails with that and refer to yourself as the Messy Soap Maker. So tell us how you got that nickname, because I feel like there has to be a story behind it.
Honestly, I guess it's not a phenomenal story. Doing the research and learning how to make all this soap from scratch, I obviously had to do it. And everybody was so neat. Everybody was so, like, their molds were perfect. Their table was clean. And I was like, man, I can't be like them. Like, I was like, when I make soap, it is the messiest thing I've ever seen. And so people would message me and they would say, I love how you leave the mess in your live video. I love how, and when I signed my first Your Messy Soap Maker, just being silly on a caption, people started referring to me as that, like in messages. Hi, Messy Soap Maker. I absolutely love the oatmeal milk and honey, things like that. And it just kind of stuck. I continue to write Your Messy Soap Maker at the end of all my captions when they're written by me, which 99.9% of them are. And it just stuck. I'm not neat. I'm a lot neater than I used to be, but starting out, it was really difficult to be neat with all these ingredients. It's kind of like baking, except for no licking the spoon.
And I'm sure people appreciate the authenticity behind that, because, you're not a big brand company. You're somebody who's just, making soap.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned a ton of different products that you offer. What is your best-selling or most popular item?
Oh man, it's so hard to square it down to one. And especially now that we've been in the store, that's funny. They're a little bit different in the store than they are online. But I guess, can I just tell you a short top three? Okay. So rose and aloe. Rose, it's made with rose infused oil, rose clay, rose geranium, rose tea, and aloe vera. And it has got an incredible lather. The aloe vera is incredible. If you're not the biggest fan of rose, it's got a little bergamot in there, so it's a little bit fresh, and then it's got the rose smell. Citrus sand dune has a little bit of citrus, but it's mostly very earthbound. It's made with patchouli essential oil as well as cinnamon and orange, and that one is very, very earthy, and our top seller, as well as our oatmeal milk and honey, which is unscented, incredible for complex skin, eczema prone skin. It's made with goat milk. If we use milk in our soap, it's always goat milk because it's the most beneficial. And then it's ground oatmeal as well. So those are definitely our top three: aloe vera, the rose and aloe, citrus sand dune, and oatmeal milk and honey.
Excellent. They all sound delicious.
Thank you.
So you're a mom, and as a mom, why is it important for you to use all natural skincare products for your family?
Just like what they eat as far as their diet, your skin needs incredible ingredients as well. So my son, we are a blended family. I have two stepsons and I have my baby, and my son has very sensitive skin like me. When he goes to his father's house, if he doesn't have one of my soaps, he'll come back and he'll even call me sometimes and say, Mom, I used whatever dad had in the shower and my skin is itching. And so he'll get upset if he doesn't have one of my bars, because he physically feels the difference like I did when I got out of the shower. Our skin would get very, very dry. So it's just very important, because it's just like their diet. People don't think about their skin like they think about their diet. Like they want to eat the broccoli instead of the pizza, but they don't think about their skin that way. I want to use this natural, pure ingredients instead of this chemical filled ingredient or this bottle that I have no idea what the ingredients is on the back, because that's often the same with ingredients as far as food. You turn it over and you're like, what in the world is this? And it's kind of the same with your skincare. You want to be able to understand it. You want to know what you're putting on your body, and you want to know what you're putting on your body is not just cleansing you, because when it comes to soap, that's what our main priority is, but it's supporting you.
And that's a great analogy, comparing it to what you put inside your body and also what you put on outside your body. And actually never thought about it that way, but the difference between fast food and a more whole food approach, and the difference between, a bargain soap and a more high quality, all natural soap.
Yeah, absolutely. 60% of what you put in your skin soaks all the way into your bloodstream. So it does infect the inside of your body as well as just the physical skin that you can see.
That's an excellent fact. So you mentioned skin irritation, and you've had some testimonials about that. And you mentioned, that was your main drive. What are some other common reasons that people search out those natural products? Do you find that it's mostly they're trying to find a solution to a reaction, or are there other things that motivate people to search out? Like, I mean, your stuff is a little bit more expensive than going to Target, although I do think your prices are extremely reasonable. But what are some, when you talk to customers, what are some other reasons they're kind of like searching for you?
So oftentimes they're actually recommended by doctors and their healthcare professionals to search out something natural. Kind of going back to those testimonials, one that stands very prominent in my heart is, there was a lady that wrote me an email. She said that she was having a lot of trouble, and she met with her fertility doctor, and her fertility doctor looked at her and said, "What are you washing with?" And she said, "Well, whatever I find at Target or Bath and Body Works." And he said, "Well, what's in it?" And she said, "I don't." And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "You need something with pure plant oils. You need something with real glycerin. You need something that's going to support you." And he actually went in depth to explain to her, which not all physicians do. Some of them are just about the bottom dollar, and they're like, "I'm going to recommend you this cream." And I like to hope that all of them started out with, good intentions or still have them. But he went as far as explaining to her that if you have a lot of preservatives in your products, they can actually soak into your bloodstream and mimic your estrogen. And if they're mimicking your estrogen, then your body's not creating enough estrogen. And then you're obviously going to have a little difficulty with your hormone imbalance. And she was trying to get pregnant. So she told me that she actually found us at a local store in St. Augustine, and she's been a faithful customer ever since. But that email stood out in my heart. And so sometimes they come in and go, "My doctor said my skin needs something with goat milk," or "My doctor said I need something very high in glycerin," or "My sister said, she tried this soap and she just feels like rejuvenated, like a lot has changed between her diet and her skin, like she's drinking more water, and now she's using," because what you ingest is going to affect your skin as well. It's not just what you put on top. So she's drinking more water and she's using natural products, and she's just got this glow about her, and she told me about your soap. So it can be anywhere from just, I'm striving to be more healthy, I've been recommended by someone, or some people that come in the store more than online don't realize that they're living with dry skin, or they're living with irritations, or they're living with extra oiliness and acne prone skin on their face, and they just think it's normal, and they don't realize that they can just change the one thing they're washing with every single day, because it is every single day and it can truly help. So we try to educate them as well as support them.
I think that education component is so important.
It is. It really is.
So let's switch gears a little and talk about your newly opened brick and mortar store. You opened at the Avenues Mall. And I mean, the last 2.5 years, we've seen a lot of companies go from big brick and mortar to exclusively online. And so now you were online and you're opening brick and mortar. What made you decide to do that, to branch out and make that change?
So the owner of the Avenues Mall called me around December-ish, and he said that he had heard my name multiple times. He actually heard Messy Soap Maker and Natural Desire Soap Company and didn't realize that we were one person until he did some research and, found me online and Instagram. And he just asked me, like, we want to go on a different trajectory. We want more natural, products in here. We want more local people in here. What do you think? And at first I was like, not completely on board, but then I was thinking about it. And I mean, I probably get a message every 3 days. Do you have a brick and mortar store where I can sell the soap? I mean, where I can smell the soap before I purchase it? I really like to smell it. Is there a way I can smell it? When's your next festival? And I was like, there is a need there. I don't know how big it is, but there is a need there. And also we are offering soap making classes, which is something I'm very passionate about. If you visit my Instagram, you can see me making all of this from scratch live. I educate other soap makers. And when I thought about the soap making classes, it made my heart happy. I was like, this sounds like it'd be really fun to educate people and show them how to make their own true products. And so I can't do that without a facility. So we just decided to give it a try. Honestly, I kind of go into everything like that. Like, let's give it a try. I'm never going to leave my online website. I'll never limit myself to only helping people here in Jacksonville, Florida. I want to help people all over the world. So I'll never limit myself. So now I'm running two. An online store and a physical location. Online is much easier because I can work whenever I want. A physical location, you have to have girls in there at specific times and you have to keep it up and all the things. But we're just giving it a try. We're going to see how it does here. And if it's not our jam, we'll just stick to online.
And you mentioned your classes. Tell us a little bit about what different classes you offer and kind of what's involved with those.
Okay, so just like you would see on our social media, when I'm making the soap from scratch, you're going to learn how to make it from scratch with a lye solution. It's capped in a blender, so you're all safe. And once it's saponified with the pure plant oils, it's turning into soap. At that point, if it touches your skin, it's not going to hurt. You're just going to go wash it off. It'll tingle a little bit or next to a sink. So you learn a traditional cold processed soap method, which is very complex. You make 3 bars and you get to sign up. I think our link is through Eventbrite right now, and you can sign up for whatever class you would like. So if you want to make a rose soap, you sign up for that class. If you want to make the citrus soap, you sign up for that class. If you have a party of 5 or more, we are doing custom times and a steep discount because it's, 5 is the max. 5 to 6 is the max that we take. And then we're also offering bath bomb painting for the children. So again, like all of our products, they're completely natural. They're made with coconut milk and oatmeal and loving skin nourishing ingredients. And they would paint the bath bombs with clays. A lot of the kids have created the last little girl in there said, I'm making a dinosaur egg. It was beautiful, but the clays end up being a little bit more of a warmer, earthy tones. Like the purple clay is a warm purple, and so they're really beautiful. We don't use micas or oxides, so your kids are painting with natural clays. They're painting a natural bath bomb, and then you don't have to worry about what they're putting in their bath later when they get to see it fizz away.
And what age is the bath bomb class for? And then also, is there a minimum age for the soap making class?
So for the soap making class, we're saying 16 and up. And then for the bath bomb painting, we are taking ages 5 to 13. However, we will accommodate a 2 or 3-year-old as long as the mother is with them, kind of helping them. I mean, some of our moms, there's a little sitting area right outside of our location. So a lot of our moms will go sit there and their children will paint the bath bombs. However, if they're under 5, we want you to just kind of sit next to them, just to help monitor.
And do you offer, if you had a small group of like 5, could you do a small birthday party?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're actually working on kind of having a tea party, bath bomb kind of combo right now, especially for little girls. We can do custom aprons and you can do the tea party with our little tea party wear, and you can bring cake and then they can do the bath bombs. We'll do the bath bombs first and then and then go to the tea parties and cake. And then there's so many other things to do in the mall. You can eat at the food court after. There's arcades. There's like some sort of space shooting range, and then there's the train. There's so many things. You can make a whole day out of it, especially if you have 5 girls.
Absolutely. And so we'll put a link to your website, but also the Eventbrite site where people can sign up for classes. And so if you're interested in a class, be sure to check that out.
Absolutely. And we do have a link from the website to the Eventbrite as well.
Excellent. So you mentioned your most popular items, but let's talk about you and what is your favorite item that you sell?
My favorite item? That is so hard. I'm definitely very partial to the rose and aloe. It's not just our most popular online. It is absolutely my favorite. And I really, really, really enjoy our eucalyptus shower steamers. Those are really, really neat because in store you get to mix and match your little bag of shower steamers for a nice discount. Online, we can only offer it in the jars because if you put eucalyptus with orange, eventually it's going to smell like eucalyptus orange and it won't smell, they won't stay separate. So online we have it, the 6 shower steamers in a jar. But that is absolutely my favorite. It's a 5-second way to pop this little square in your shower and just make a very luxurious, like spa-like experience. And you also get the essential oil therapeutic properties as if you were to put a eucalyptus drop in your steam and your diffuser. It's very similar.
I love eucalyptus, so that sounds amazing. Is there any scent that you don't like? I mean, I know you have to like work with all of them, but is there any scent that you're like, this is just not my favorite?
Okay, so patchouli was that for me. Absolutely. I was requested, I think, for almost 2 years for a patchouli soap before I made it because I was like, no. So patchouli out of the bottle, I do not like it at all. However, in our citrus sand dune soap, which is one of our top sellers, it is blended with orange and cinnamon, and it's got a little bit of a more earthy, warm, but like bright citrus notes. And then it still has that patchouli, and I really, really enjoy the way it turns out in the bar. However, patchouli straight out of the bottle, not my friend at all. And I absolutely love peppermint. I end up smelling like a tube of toothpaste every day almost because I absolutely love putting a roller. We have rollers at the store as well. Peppermint essential oil on my neck, under my chin line, on my wrist, and it wakes me up. It kind of gets my neck a little bit loose in the morning, and so I also really, really enjoy our charcoal peppermint soap.
That's so interesting. Do you do all the scent combinations yourself? Like when you started experimenting with the patchouli, did you mix it yourself till you came with like what you thought was the ideal formula?
Absolutely. Yes. All of our essential oil blends that we have here are custom. I buy the pure essential oil. So I'll put like for our lemon honey, we have vanilla absolute in it, and we have bitter almond essential oil, and we have lemon essential oil. And it doesn't smell like a bright lemon in your face. It smells like a warm, just more of a warm, earthy lemon. And a lot of people say it smells slightly like a lemon cookie. I can see that, I guess, with vanilla absolute in there. And so I custom make those. I buy those pure organic essential oils, and I custom make those so that you can't find them anywhere else. So they're exclusive to us. So you won't find anything that ever smells exactly like our products.
That's fantastic. So if I'm a mom out there and I am interested in learning more about natural, non-toxic skincare, non-toxic bath care for my kids, do you have any recommendations for good resources? other than obviously your social media, which is incredibly valuable. I highly recommend people watch your reels and some of your videos where you talk about, different things. But in addition to you, do you have any other recommendations?
I really enjoy, as far as social media, I really enjoy this another platform. I believe her name is Toxin-Free Tay. Toxin-Free Tay. I will send you a link to that so you have that, and she has no idea I'm promoting her here today, but I really enjoy her content. She is very educational. She kind of gives you healthier swaps for what you have in your household products. Also, a book I'm completely obsessed with, as far as if you want to create your own paste or creams, is The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. It's the healing power of plant medicine, and it's written by Nicole Boshell and Claude Davis. It is incredible. It's easy to read. It's got really big, bright pictures. It can tell you what part of a plant can be ingested, what part of the plant can be made a tea out of, what you can make a space out of. And it helps you learn about the plant and know what you can and cannot use, what you can make presses out of. You can actually go to the context or the index of the book and find, menstrual pain. And then you can go through and find the 3 plants that are helpful for that and how you can use them. And I absolutely love that book.
Those are great options. And we'll put links to all of that in our show notes so that if anybody wants to buy the book or check it out from the library, and then that other resource you had mentioned. So what is your number one skincare tip for people? If you had just one key thing to tell everybody, what is it?
You have really hard questions. I think I would just tell them to pay attention to what they're washing with every day. And that doesn't mean it has to be my product. It just means you need to know what's in your soap, because you're washing with it every single day. And that's not what people really think about. They don't, like I said, for years, I dealt with that irritation on my back. And it was right after I got out the showers when it was the worst. Like, I was in crying pain. We would put lotion on it that felt like chemicals, and I had no idea. And it didn't help for more than 10 minutes because it wasn't good for me. And so I just think people don't actually think about what they're washing with. They think about the other stuff. They think about the serums, and they think about the lotions, and they think about, natural makeup, but they don't actually think about what they're cleaning themselves with every single day. And because it's every single day, it's absolutely going to have an effect on your body.
That's an excellent tip. So before we close out, tell us, you mentioned you have your store in the Avenues Mall. You have your online website, which we'll link. Tell us a little bit. Do you also sell locally anywhere? Do you offer wholesale? And then also talk to us a little bit about your subscription club.
Okay. So we are, honestly, it's a little bit hard to remember all of the local stores we're in at the moment. I know we are in the Wellness Hub, which is a beautiful spa. They have acupuncture and all kinds of wellness resources. We are in the Bread and Board Provisions store, and that is downtown. We're in a few stores in St. Augustine. For example, we do private label and we do wholesale. So we just private labeled a green tea lotion and a green tea soap to the Surf Stop in St. Augustine. So we custom labeled it, and I guess we can call it private label because it's a custom lotion and soap that is custom to her. No one else will get it anywhere else except for at her store. However, she did include us on the back, like handmade by, who we are. And I love that we support each other. And so we do private label to where we are completely anonymous. We'll send, 500 of our rose scrubs that we make exclusively for a company to New York. They have their own label in it, just because it kind of goes back to where I said I want to help people. So I love helping. We just made a whole sea moss line for a sea moss company, which was beautiful. I was kind of upset that I can't achieve the gorgeous blue that was achieved in one of her soaps due to the sea moss being just such a beautiful ingredient. It kind of changed the color. And I love helping people's dreams come true, right? Not everybody knows how to do this from scratch. And I've done so much research and taking so many courses to learn how to do this from scratch. And so I love to be able to formulate something specifically for somebody and help their dreams come true and help their company move forward. So we do wholesale as far as our label is on it and it goes in your store. And then we also do private label as far as we can be private and not let you know about, who does what, or we can talk about who it's formulated, but it's still, or who formulated it as far as us, but it's still in your store with your brand on it.
Excellent. And what is your favorite thing about being a mom in Jacksonville?
Oh, so for about 10 years or so of my life, I lived in a really small town called Palatka. It's about an hour away from here, and there was nothing to do there. I think me and my son moved here I think he was about 4 years old, and there is so much to do in Jacksonville, Florida. I think that's my favorite thing, is that we never get bored. I mean, I just mentioned all of the things that you can do just in the Avenues Mall as far as the arcades and the train rides. There's a playground. There's ice cream and pretzels. But there's so many parks. There's some little gyms, hidden gyms that are just like about plants and have turtles and museums. And there's so many things. There's ice skating, there's rollerblading. There's just so many things that we can always find something to do. And I think that's my favorite thing is when I lived in, Palatka, which consists of a grocery store, it feels like there wasn't nearly as much to do. So we just never get bored. We can always find something to entertain ourselves. And then being so close to the beach as well is always a perk because we love the beach and the water.
There is Jacksonville for being labeled as a small town has a lot of attractions and a lot of parks and like you said, things to do. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we close up today?
Come visit us at our new store at the Avenues Mall. The address is 10300 Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville, Florida 32256. And we are located directly under the food court, or if you enter through Dillard's, we'll be right there when you enter the mall through Dillard's. And so we would love to see you guys there. There's a lot of different things there than there is online. And we would appreciate the support, and also give us a follow on Instagram as well. We'd love to grow that family and connect with you if you guys have any questions.
Thank you so much, Nicole from Natural Desire Soap, and we'll put links to everything we talked about in our show notes. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this episode of Jacksonville Momcast, be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and follow us at Jacksonville Momcast on all the social medias for show updates and more information about our guests. To learn more about what you heard today, visit our show notes at jacksonvillemomcast.com. Thanks for listening.